I wanted to know if there is a capacity limit, and what is that limit, if there is one, and why can't we close the borders of Chicago or the state of Illinois in the first place? Why can't we close the borders?
I don't know if there's a limit. I do know that when you are seeking asylum, you are granted protections from the U.S. to not return. So that is the process that folks are going through when they come here, when they get their interview, and then the Texas governor sends them to Illinois, and specifically Chicago.
So they get to come, once they do an interview in Texas, they get to come regardless. Texas says, you're an asylum seeker, you're being persecuted, so yeah, you can leave your country and come here and go wherever you want.
Not Texas. The federal government is the one that does the process around asylum seeking. It is Texas who is making the decision to send them to Chicago.
And that's what I wanted to know. Can we say, no, we won't take anymore?
It has to come from the federal government.
All right, guys. So you seen that, you heard that, okay? That is one of Chicago's elected officials getting confronted by the citizens, right? Citizens who at a 95+% clip voted for Joe Biden about the border being open, okay? And they want to close the border, right? They want to close the border of Chicago, okay? They don't want illegal immigrants. Well, they should have thought about that before they went out there and voted for Joe Biden, okay? And all these Democrats that are running that city. Again, Chicago is really a clown world, okay? I mean, I'm telling you guys, I said this before, okay? And I'll say it again. Chicago will be a nice case study to show you how bad things get with socialism, right? Because they're going to usher in full-blown socialism, okay? It's going to become a progressive utopia, which really means it's going to become a hellhole, right? And it's not just with Chicago's sanctuary city status, in which, again, under woke Mayor Brandon Johnson, they welcome in all the illegals, right? And if you don't agree to share your resources along with paying taxpayer dollars to take care of them, then you're a bigot, right? You're a bigot, okay? Chicago also has a issue with crime. And we have done stories before about how stores like Walmart, okay, retailers are closing stores in Chicago because of theft, okay? They simply cannot operate due to people stealing too much of the merchandise, right? And they're deciding to leave and close shop. Now, you have some of the activists in Chicago accusing these stores of being racist, right? They're racist because they decided to leave, okay? They're not letting black people steal, right? They're not letting black people get their reparations. So therefore, they're racist. In order to combat the closing of retail stores, woke Mayor Brandon Johnson went deep into his bag, right? His socialist bag of goodies to pull out a proposal to essentially open up city-owned, aka socialist grocery stores to combat the stores that are closing due to theft. Take a look.
Well, despite that $500 million city deficit, the mayor is exploring the idea of opening a city-owned grocery store to promote food equity.
But as CBS 2's Jermon Terry found out, you won't be able to buy food anytime soon.
He's live in the newsroom to break it down for us. Jermon?
Joe and Erica, this is simply a plan and one done in small cities. But if the city-owned grocery store gets up and running, and that is a big if, Chicago will be the largest city to accomplish this. Tonight, Mayor Brandon Johnson's team explains the need for this push. Many neighborhoods on the south and west sides are without quality grocery stores. Windows are boarded up after private chains moved out. Take this former Aldi at 76 in Ashland and Auburn Gresham. It closed more than a year ago.
All of our stores are closing. And so now we have to go outside of our neighborhoods.
Native Southsider Shelley Williams welcomes any plans to bring grocery stores back. That includes Mayor Brandon Johnson's newest initiative to get the city into the grocery chain business.
Well, I think that's a good idea that Mayor Johnson is picking up the slack where these big store chains are leaving.
Under Mayor Johnson's proposal, the city would use economic development grants. Yumi Grisby, the administration's policy chief, says the city will team up with an organization to open a city-owned grocery in one of Chicago's food deserts.
And so we are not spending any taxpayer dollars, right? What we're also going to be able to access is the funding that exists at the national level, at the state level.
The major grocery chains claim they left these communities because it just was not profitable. So it begs the question how Mayor Johnson can flip that narrative.
And so it's not necessarily about profitability. It really is about what is the impact on Chicagoans.
How does a grocery store get pushed ahead of crime and safety over other things?
I don't want to say that this is taking a priority. I would like to say that overall, it's not also about a grocery store. What it is about increasing access to healthy options and to food for all Chicagoans.
And while the mayor's office says the grocery store will be funded by grant money, we should note some of the grant money could come from state and federal tax dollars, just not local tax dollars. There's no timeline when this initiative would or could move forward. Live in the newsroom tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News. Joe and Erica.
Jermont, thank you.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, I want you guys to understand how ass backwards these people are, right? This is what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a full-blown socialist, a communist, and woke mayor Brandon Johnson. This is who they elected, bro. I can't believe it. Chicago, okay, out of 149 U.S. cities, it is ranked 149th in financial stability, 67th in education, 71st in their healthcare system, 80th in public safety, 129th in the quality of the economy, and 37th in infrastructure and pollution. This doesn't sound like a very efficient city, right? This doesn't sound like a city that can open up a city-owned grocery store and run it in a way that is actually going to be a net positive for the community, right? Because what's about to happen here is that, contrary to the claims of, Brandon Johnson, the people that work for him, his propagandists, this is simply going to be a criminal's paradise, right? Effectively, this is going to be reparations for thugs and criminals and career shoplifters, right? There's no reason in Chicago, if they open up this socialist-owned grocery store, to buy groceries ever again, right? Because they don't want to send you to jail, okay, for these crimes in the first place, right? So now that you have a taxpayer-funded grocery store, essentially what's going to happen is that these people are going to steal so much, except the produce, right? Maybe the cost of the produce, okay, maybe that will stay low, right? Fruits, produce, vegetables, the actual good food, right? The healthy stuff. That probably won't be affected as much, but the chips and the candy, the soda, right? Ice cream, all that stuff, going to be sky high. The prices are going to be sky high, because the thieves are going to steal it, right? They're going to steal all of it. They're not going to be arrested. So basically, they're going to go in there, get it for free, walk out. And then suppliers, there's going to be such a high demand because of the theft that suppliers are going to be charging more and more and more because of the increased demand in order to actually supply the grocery store, right? Because the grocery store is going to want to keep shelves stocked. Okay, and what's going to happen is that price is going to go up. It's already going to be taxpayer subsidized. So prices are going to go up for the same people that are paying taxes to supply the groceries in the first place. They're going to pay an even higher price to get the food, right? That's if the shelves stay stocked, right? If the shelves stay stocked, despite the theft, right? Which again was so bad that free market enterprise couldn't survive, right? Even Walmart was like, I'm out, right? Aldi's, I'm out. Whole Foods, I'm out. I can't operate. Too many of you people stealing, right? In order to actually break even, they're going to have to charge more. The prices of the food is going to have to go up to combat the stealing, right? That's just what it is, which will actually result in more theft, okay? Until the socialist grocery store is going to have to shut down, right? Because nobody effectively is going to be buying anything because they're going to realize quickly that there's no consequences to just stealing it, right? See, again, when you have free market enterprise, right, the incentive not to steal is that if you steal enough, then the business is not going to be able to operate, and then therefore you're not going to have any food, right? You're going to have to inconvenience yourself to go and get food and groceries, okay? Now, the logical response to that should not be to open up a socialist supermarket for people to steal on taxpayer dime, okay? The logical response to that would be to solve the underlying conditions that have resulted in the free market enterprises leaving in the first place, right? AKA crime. You deal with crime so that these grocery stores come back, so that there's an incentive to open up grocery stores that are run by entrepreneurs and that are capitalist in nature. Therefore, you can continue to provide goods and services to the community at a lower price, right? That is what the goal should be. But that's not the goal, okay? Because, again, this city is ran by socialists that these people voted for. This is what they're going to get, right? Again, it's hilarious to me, right? I mean, it's not really funny because, you know, it's sad that this is happening, okay? It really is, and I feel bad that it's happening to black folks. I really do. But at the same time, it's almost like you got to give these people what they want in order for them to learn, right? In order for them to understand the consequences of their actions, right? Wanting an open border, socialism, right? What the consequences are, you got to give them what they want. They got to experience it first, okay? Some people learn through experience, right? They got to learn the hard way. They don't believe that fire burns until it actually really burns them. And that's just the reality of the situation. I'm not surprised that Brandon Johnson, who is a socialist, right, is resorting to socialism when he has a problem that should be solved by the free market, okay? If the government was doing their job in the first place and cracking down on crime, which he doesn't want to do. He said, I'm for defunding the police, okay? He is anti-law enforcement. He's anti-law and order. It's amazing. Chicago is going to be a woke disaster. I'm telling you, bro, in 3 or 4 years, probably less time than that, we are going to be looking at the results of far left progressive policies, okay? They told us that if you vote for this type of stuff, that you're going to get a progressive utopia and everything is going to be great in woke wonderland. I'm telling you, that's not the case. Chicago is going to be a disaster, okay? It's going to be a disaster. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.